Here I am going to explain the analog multiplier IC AD633 and its applications. This is the schematic symbol of AD633. This IC consists of op-amps and other circuit elements. This is the general representation of a multiplier. Vx and Vy are the two inputs, and V output is equal to K into Vx into Vy. An analog multiplier is a circuit whose output voltage at any instant is proportional to the product of the instantaneous values of individual voltages. And the applications of analog multipliers are multiplication, division, squaring, square rooting of signals, modulation and demodulation of signals. And coming to AD633, it is a 4-quadrant analog multiplier IC. And it possesses high input impedance, and its supply voltage ranges from plus or minus 8 to plus or minus 18 volt, and its typical range of the input signals are plus or minus 10 volt, and V references is initially set to 10 volt, that is 1 by K is equal to 1 by 10, which is a constant. V0 is equal to Vx into Vy by 10, where K is 1 by 10. Therefore, if the two inputs are 10 volt each, then the output voltage is equal to 1 by 10 into 10 into 10. And next, coming to the transfer cara of a quadrant multiplier. This x-axis we have got input, y-axis we have got the output for various values of Vy. Just we can see an example. For input of Vx at plus 6 and when Vy is equal to minus 10, V0 is equal to 1 by 10 into 10 minus 10 into 6. That is minus 6. That is, we can see here, that is the output voltage. Next, we can see some of the applications of the analog multiplier IC in detail. First, coming to the voltage squarer. Voltage squaring means what? We'll get at the output the square of the input. And we have given, for that we have given the two inputs of the multiplier are given the same input, that is Vi. Therefore, V out is equal to K into Vi square. The inputs can be both positive and negative, and the voltage ranges from 0 to 10 volt. And this application is extended to form a frequency doubler, and next we are going to see frequency doubler. In a frequency doubler, we can see that similar to the squarer, we have given the same input to both the inputs, but the input is a sine wave. So the peculiarity of this sine wave, we can see the frequency is 10K at the input, and at the output this frequency is going to get double. We can see this is the input and this is the output, and we can see the frequency at the output has doubled. Here we can see 5 sine 2 pi 10k t. That is, Vi is equal to Av sine 2 pi ft. So 2 times Av sine 2 pi ft by 10. That is Av square by 10 into sine square 2 pi ft. We know that sine square A is equal to 1 by 2 into 1 minus cos 2A. And that is applied here. Here, it is Av square by 20 into 1 minus cos 4 pi ft. So we can see an example. Av is equal to 5 volt and F is equal to 10 hertz, and we have applied it. V0 is equal to pi square 1 minus cos 4 pi 10 kt by 20. So pi square by 20 is 1.25 into cos 1 minus cos 2 pi 20 kt. We can see that the frequency has doubled. It is 20k. The input was 10k and the output it is 20k. But we can see that the amplitude has reduced at the output. This is all about the frequency doubler. And next we are moving on to voltage divider. In this voltage divider circuit, we have got a multiplier and an op-amp. The general inputs are Vden and Vnum, V denominator and V numerator. And we expect at the output V numerator divided by V denominator. So first we'll go on to the multiplier section. In the multiplier section we can see that one of the input to the multiplier is Vden and another input is VOA. The output of the multiplier is VOM, which is equal to K into VOA into Vden. Coming to the op-amp section, the feedback of the op-amp, we have the multiplier section. You can see that in the feedback of the op-amp, we have the multiplier section. And node A is virtual ground. This is the virtual ground. So I1 plus I2 is equal to 0. There is no current moving into the op-amp. Therefore, I1 plus I2 is equal to 0. And I1 is equal to Vnum by R. I1 is equal to Vnum by R and I2 is equal to VOM by R. Therefore, summing this and equating it to 0, we will get VOM is equal to minus Vnum. From the multiplier, we know that VOM is equal to K into VOA into Vden. From this, we will get VOA is equal to VOM divided by K into Vden. And VOM, we have already got it as minus Vnum. So we have achieved the division, that is Vnum by Vden into minus 1 by K. So here we have Vnum. We can have both positive and negative values, but for Vden we can have only positive values. This is just to ensure the negative feedback. When Vden changes, the gain, that is 10 by Vden, also changes. That is, there is a change in gain. Therefore, it can be used as an AGC, that is automatic gain control. Next application is square rooter. The multiplier IC can be used as a square rooter. That is, we can get the square root of the input at the output. For this, we can use the same divider circuit. The only difference is that we are going to give the two inputs as VOA. We are not giving Vden. We are only giving VOA, that is the output of the op-amp is connected to the two inputs of the multiplier. So what will be the output? The output VOM is equal to K into VOA square. That is 1 by 10 into VOA square. By KCL at node A, as earlier we know that VOM is equal to minus Vnum. Therefore we can write VOA is equal to square root of 10 into modulus of VOM. That is, we are neglecting the negative sign here. So V0 is the square root of 10 times the absolute value of Vi. Vi must always be negative, otherwise op-amp will go to saturation. And the range of Vi is minus 1 to minus 10 volt. And coming to the last application, the phase angle detector. This is much similar. Here we can see the multiplier IC connected to two different inputs. Vy is equal to Vyp sine 2 pi ft and Vx is equal to Vxp sine 2 pi ft plus 5. That is, we have given two signals of same frequency but of different phase. So the aim of this circuit is to find the phase angle difference between these two signals. Vxp is the peak value of Vx and Vyp is the peak value of Vy. So we are going to get theta at the output. We know that sin A sin B is equal to half into cos A minus B minus cos A plus B. Therefore, sin 2 pi ft plus theta into sin 2 pi ft is equal to half into cos theta minus cos 2 pi into 2 ft plus theta. So, half into DC component minus double frequency term. This is the DC component and this is the double frequency term. So when we multiply these two signals, the DC component is going to be Vxp into Vyp into half into 1 by 10 into cos theta. And that is written here, Vxp into Vyp by 20 into cos theta. So we are going to measure the output with the help of a DC voltmeter. That is, we are going to measure the theta with the help of a DC voltmeter. And the DC voltmeter measures 0 to 1 volt scale. And why the 0 to 1 volt? This is because, so if we are giving Vxp into Vyp as 20, we will be getting V0 DC, that is a DC component as cos theta. So the value of cos theta ranges from 0 to 1 and that is why we are using a 0 to 1 scale DC voltmeter. And we can get the value of theta from the cosine table. And here we have shown an example of two signals with 90-degree phase shift. Therefore 90-degree phase shift means the DC component is 0. So the output is minus sine 2 into 2k t. Here it's 4.47 sine 10k t and 4.47 into sine 2 pi 10k t plus theta. And here we can see there is no DC component and that is theta is equal to 90 degree it means. So that's all about phase angle detector and about the AD633 and its applications. Thank you.